Here's a real-world scenario that can happen to anyone, and here's how you can save yourself. You take a sip of water at a restaurant, distracted by conversation, when something gritty catches your teeth. You pause and you glance at the glass, and you notice a barely visible chip along the rim. A quiet panic sets in. Did you just swallow glass? You immediately feel a strange sensation on your throat, a faint scratch or tightness. You ask yourself, was it nothing, or was it shards slicing their way down? You don't know how much you drank, if any, or how deep the damage might be. You sit in silence trying to gauge your body. Every faint ache or unfamiliar twinge feels like a warning. Internal bleeding, perforated organs, something invisible unfolding inside you. The uncertainty is unbearable, but there's no way to know if something lethal is already happening. The worst part is how easily it happened. Literally just a small sip, something so mundane, yet could easily kill you. Here's what you must do immediately to save your own life. Stop drinking immediately. This should be common sense and common knowledge. The moment you notice something unusual in your drink, stop consuming it. Do not induce vomiting. Forcing yourself to vomit can and will force the glass up your esophagus, causing tears and cuts along the way. Immediately, but gently rinse your mouth with water to remove any remaining glass fragments. Avoid swallowing during this process. You must carefully inspect your tongue, gums, and inside your cheeks for any cuts or embedded glass. The instructions just mentioned should be done as fast as you can, after which you must seek medical attention immediately. Even if you feel fine, go to the emergency room as soon as possible. Be very truthful and direct. Inform the doctors that you inspect glass ingestion so they can perform the correct and appropriate imaging to locate any shards in your digestive system. This can include CT scans or X-rays. Do not eat or consume anything during this process. Consuming food and beverages can actually push the glass fragments deeper into your digestive system, increasing the risk of perforations. You must listen to the medical professionals. Only eat when they tell you to. Always watch for symptoms, even if you don't visit the doctor immediately, which you should, by the way. Always monitor these dangerous symptoms. These symptoms include severe abdominal pain, vomiting blood or coffee ground-like material, bloody or black tarry stools, and of course, unexplained throat pain or difficulty swallowing. If you ever have these symptoms, seek emergency medical care immediately. The scenario I just explained to you is a very insidious form of murder attempt. What's extremely terrifying and insidious about this form of murder method is that upon grinding glass into microscopic pieces, you make it look like the water is clear. Not to mention that glass is a very common material, leaving no unique identifiers like fingerprints, DNA, or chemical markers. If someone ever slips glass into your drink, it's literally impossible to link it to a specific perpetrator. What also makes it a highly deranged but effective form of murder method is how the symptoms are often delayed. The smaller the shards, the longer it takes for the symptoms to manifest. Microscopic shards may cause internal injuries that don't manifest for hours or even days. By the time the symptoms start to appear, it may already be too late, and connecting the injury to a specific meal or drink is almost extremely impossible. What makes this form of method extremely terrifying and creepy is how it can appear accidental. A chipped glass can look like an innocent oversight, diverting suspicion from intentional harm. This means that many people will dismiss the incident or simply blame it on poor handling by staff. And finally, what makes this murder method so disturbing is how it's quietly lethal. Glass can cause life-threatening and often permanent damage without immediate outward signs, making it a slow and agonizing threat that can pass unnoticed. But you can, of course, protect yourself from such attacks. What you can do to avoid such attacks is always inspect your glassware. Always check for chips, cracks, or grit in your drink before taking a sip. Be very cautious of open containers. Drinks that are left unattended can be easily tampered with. At all costs, never drink any drinks that was left unattended prior. And I'm always gonna say it, always trust your gut instincts. If something tastes or feels off, stop drinking it immediately. And finally, document the scene. If you ever find glass in your drink, remember to not drink it, but be very quick to take pictures of the glass, the drink itself, and the surrounding area. This documentation may be critical if foul play is suspected. This is simply messed up because it is impossible to trace who did it to you. Ingesting shattered glass is both an immediate medical emergency and a very terrifyingly and derangedly effective way to cause harm. Remaining vigilant and acting quickly could save your life in this very insidious and terrifying scenario. You may not be able to trace who did it to you, but at least you can save your own life. Stay safe.